Is it ever enough? Will it ever truly be enough? You can try hard, but are you ever really trying hard enough? You're doing a lot, but could you do more? You are good, but are you good enough? This pursuit of perfection is an impossible game. There is always a time where you could do more, but you don't know the consequence of doing more. You can end up tunnel visioned or focused just on one thing. And if you did more just because you felt like you weren't doing enough, you would assume that doing more would be more beneficial because you don't see the cost of doing more. Maybe you need to do more in your work life. But if you do, what happens to the time you spend with your family or your relationships or other things that you're actually interested in? There are other things that you love. So everything becomes a sacrifice. And sacrifice is just a part of nature. This is why Buddhists say that life is suffering. Because another way to say that is that life is sacrifice. And sacrifice is the purest form of suffering. Everything has its costs. And in terms of resources, we don't have infinite. We're not immortal. We don't have unlimited capacity or infinite energy. We only know so much. We can only do so much. We can't see all of the variables. We can't control everything. These limitations are hardwired. They're immutable. They don't change. And yet we try to transcend them. We try to rise above and progress past our limitations. We have this idea that if we just aim for the stars, we will land on the moon. And that if we try, then maybe we'll get close enough. If we just try to be perfect, then we'll get closer to our idea of perfection than not trying. But is it? It's a game we know that the outcome can never truly be achieved. The goal can never be fully realized. It's like Sisyphus trying to roll a boulder up the mountain. And the more he pushes, the harder it becomes. The more he tries, the more he realizes that it's impossible. But he won't quit. It's all he knows. All he knows is that he's got to get that boulder to the top of the mountain. And we are all pushing our own boulder. We all have our own version of the impossible task. Trying in itself is impossible. There really is no try. There is only do. And try implies a favourable outcome, as if the outcome went well, then we tried hard enough, or we did well enough. And if the outcome doesn't go our way, then we didn't do enough. We didn't try hard enough. We weren't good enough. But that line of thinking assumes that we know what the best outcome is. Short term, the outcome might not have been winning that fight, securing that deal, succeeding at what you were trying to do. But maybe the favourable outcome was in the loss. That it presented an opportunity you didn't see before, or it taught you a lesson that you needed. So we're left with this impossible dilemma that if we don't try, then we're not going to succeed. And that's the mindset that we have. By trying, and we have to get out of this concept of using that word. We must do and then do again and continue doing, pivot early, make mistakes, fail. These are the important things, not trying, just doing and then adjusting. Trying implies that there is something you are aiming for. There's something that you're trying to get. You're trying to get a specific result. And there are a lot of things that we try, not even just our goals, but trying to live longer, for instance. You can't live longer, really. When it's your time, it's your time. And there's nothing you can do to stop that. What does trying actually achieve? You could say that you are getting better because you are doing. But when you try, you do it with the idea that you will get what you want, that you will be successful or achieve some favorable outcome, and only then you will try. And that if you don't try, then the outcome is impossible. So you evaluate whether something is worth trying for. And this isn't about stopping doing things. Not trying is not the same as not doing. Not trying is doing, but without expectation. If we feel called to do it, if we feel like it's the right thing, it's the thing that we want to do, then start, get going. It's not about instant gratification and just doing what you want to do in the moment because nothing matters or nothing's important and there are no guaranteed outcomes. Because your mind then will go straight to nihilism, where you're not actually interested in doing things, being productive or living life. We avoid it because we say, what's the point? Why bother? And if nothing is guaranteed, or I could do all of this work and it could still all go wrong, then why bother? Why bother doing anything at all? There is no option where you make it out alive. As much as you resist, as much as you struggle, it's not going to save you. There is nothing you can do to prevent change. There is nothing you can do to stop time. There's nothing you can do to prevent death. And you can take that in a negative way, in a nihilistic way, or you can interpret it in a overwhelmingly positive way. If there is nothing you can do to stop that outcome, then you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose by doing what you want to do, by trying your best. All of this, your life, your skills, your talent, at some point, it's going to go. It's going to change. So this act of preservation, trying to keep all of those things intact, to eke out that little bit more time, at some point, you know this is a battle you're going to lose. And that's something that is quite difficult to contend with. But it doesn't have to be. Not if you view it from the perspective that it's a zero-sum game. You already know the outcome. You're going to live, and then you are going to die. And this is liberating, because that constant pursuit of more, and then it will be enough, where we want things to not change, but they're going to change. And we want things that, might be stuck, and we want those to change. But things are always going to change. It's guaranteed. And truth is consistent. Truth doesn't care whether you like it or not. Truth is ruthless and raw. It's not going to pick sides. If you say your life is good, then this is a limited form of truth. Because in reality, sometimes your life is good, and sometimes it's bad. It cannot be absolutely one or the other. Your life is not good, nor is it bad. It has moments of good and moments of bad. You're the only one keeping score. You're the one counting. And that counting, that process of measuring, is making you miserable. But it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be like that. This isn't the only way to live. And it's not the only way to be successful either. In fact, most successful people are the ones who need to confront the truth more than anyone, because they have to see all of the information before they make the best choice. And they must know their strengths and their weaknesses. So even if you're after success, even though you realize that it can't be absolute, you can't just have a successful life, just moments of success and moments of loss, moments when things don't go your way and moments when they do. So to see the truth, it requires real strength. And that's why most people don't want to do it. It's not that we don't see the truth. It's not that we don't know it. We often turn a blind eye. It's a conscious effort or a subconscious process. We don't want to see this. It's the monster in the cupboard. It's the thing that looks back at us. And when you feel that feeling in your stomach, when the truth is something that you know in your core, you might be hearing something or saying something and you feel it, that you're not being truthful. We pretend like we are always truthful, but we lie to ourselves all the time. It's almost prerequisite for being human. No matter how honest you are, if we didn't lie to ourselves, we would be constantly truly hyper aware of everything. We would be terrified. If you could just look at how many things could have possibly killed you today, or how many things could have gone wrong and they went right, just so you could live another day. If you knew the real risks of living and what you encounter every day, and if you saw in every day just how many things had to go right just to preserve your life, just so that you could still be here breathing and listening to this podcast and living this life, you would think, I need to be so grateful. And realistically, you would be terrified. You would see all of the danger, all of the risk, and it would paralyze you. But I do believe that if anything, the pursuit of truth is something that is worthwhile. It is meaningful. The truth is something that exposes us more than anything. It's what gives us more joy, more love, more life than anything. Lies or distruth, it takes from us. It steals from us. There is value in truth. There is no substance in lies. Avoiding the truth, it steals from us. It takes from us that ability and opportunity to learn that lesson or grow or get stronger or more insightful or more wise. It steals that away from us. And most of us are comfortable with that. They're comfortable knowing that, maybe you're limiting yourself, maybe you're containing yourself, but at least that's far less dangerous than just letting ourselves loose, than letting go. So the question that you need to ask yourself is, am I willing to let go? Am I willing to live a life of truth? I can stay comfortable, but I cannot be comfortable and remain in the truth, because the truth isn't something that is comfortable. It is something that is constantly changing, something that you need to constantly adapt to. And no one can force this choice on you. This is something you have to decide for yourself. And maybe a prerequisite to making this decision is that you have to convince yourself that it's yours to make, that you are able to, that you have that power. And when you really look at it, you will realize that if you are to digest lies or, to convince ourselves of something that is not true, then you must always be at work, correcting things, avoiding things, not looking at things. You may be hearing this and you can just tell yourself, no, it's all a big bag of lies. Like, this isn't true. But deep down, you know. So you need a good lie to convince yourself. You need something to hold on to. And we look for evidence to tell us what we want to be true, not what is actually true. But deep down, you know the truth. There are things that you think, and there are things that you know. And there is often a lack of alignment between those things. There are discrepancies between, for instance, what you say you believe and what you do. If you say that you think X, Y, and Z, but you do the total opposite, then that can't be living in truth. There has to be some form of lie or cognitive dissonance maintaining these two contradictory ideas. But we can free ourselves from this. We can free ourselves from the expectation of being right, letting go of that need to be right, that need to be good, to succeed, and you can just relax into living, into doing without expectation, without demanding or controlling. You can feel the calling, and that's what you are answering. You feel the direction to go, and you go there. You don't need a guarantee of what happens or what the outcome will be or whether you will enjoy it. You are doing it for the experience itself. You are doing it to see where it ends up. You are not trying to prophesize or guarantee this. All of that is fear, and fear cannot exist in truth, not real truth. Fear has to hold on to only a portion of reality. Fear has to say, this bad thing is going to happen, or this good thing must happen, or something terrible is going to happen. Fear latches on to one side and it picks that favorite portion of truth to hold on to, something that's comfortable. Fear picks a side, whereas truth doesn't. Truth doesn't care. It doesn't pick sides. Truth is unique in that way. So you have that decision to make, and you can choose. And I don't want to frame it as being the right thing to do is to choose that. And I don't want to frame it as like being strong or doing the right thing, because that would not be truth. That would be picking sides. So you have to decide what is right for you. I cannot tell you which one is better and which one is worse. I only have my opinion, and my opinion is subjective. Right now, in this very moment, I'm trying to voice the truth. That's my idea. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. But even that is a portion of the truth. There's going to be someone with a perspective that completely disagrees with this, that is completely the opposite of that. And there will be elements of truth in that. But I have my intention, and I'm not trying to control how it's coming out or what the information it contains. I'm just trying to give an honest explanation of something that I feel or that I thought. And all I can do is communicate that in a way that you either receive or you don't, that you agree with or you don't. I cannot control those parts of it. All I can do is do with intention. I can only speak for my perspective, what I feel, what I believe the truth is, what I see as truth. I don't have all of the answers or all of the information. I can't always do the right thing, and neither can you. You can't always get it right. We are fallible. That is the human experience, is that we are fallible, that we are sensitive and can die, and that we can think about things. This is our way of interpreting the world, and that is always going to be too vast and too subjective for everyone to agree with you, or for everyone to like what you're doing, for everyone to want the same thing as you. This is never going to happen. So what you have to do is, rather than trying to control all of that uncontrollable, control only what you do. You have your intention, you have your ideas, and you do, with no expectation or guarantee. You are not looking for a positive outcome, and you are not looking for a negative outcome. What you are looking for is to live and experience, and for that to be enough. For that to be a justification for life itself, is you are here to watch the show, to see what goes on, to see what happens, to marvel the absolute wonder of existence, to marvel at your life. If you believe your life is boring, you have no idea. You have no idea what you could go out and do. You have no idea what you could experience or accomplish if you allowed yourself to. All you have to do is set yourself free. Thank you for listening.